Okay, are we live? Let's just see. Yep, looks like we're up and running. So welcome to the third NAudio Q&A. I did try and buy a new webcam for this because the one I've got on my screen I have to tilt my screen at a weird angle for, but I can't get it working. So on the same one that we had last time. And it's going to follow the same format that we've done in the previous videos. I'm going to just look through a few of the questions on NAudio that have come through on Codex and Stack Overflow in the last couple of days and try and provide some answers. I haven't really had much of a chance to pre-look at these, so hopefully we won't run into too many dead ends. So the first one here is the wave format is unsupported, and this UWA is referring to a universal Windows application. So I'm trying to record from the microphone and I want a smaller file, and so I want to reduce the frequency and switch to mono, but the only way it accepts is with the format of 48 kilohertz stereo, and that does appear to be a built-in limitation of Wasapi. It doesn't automatically resample for you or change the number of channels, and so it's up to you after you've captured the audio to downsample it and reduce the number of channels if you want to, which is a real pain to do. But let me just reply to this. So I'm going to say, unfortunately, Wasapi will not let you specify any sample rate and bit depth and channel count and convert for you like Wave-In can. So you have to do this yourself after capturing the audio, which is a real pain. However, you might want to consider, and here's where I do a little plug for my latest Pluralsight course, using the audio graph API that is new to Windows 10 UWP platform, which makes it much easier to do things like this. And if you have a Pluralsight subscription, then you can watch my latest course, and in fact I'll say, or want to sign up for a free trial, then you can watch my latest course, which is here. I previously got that up, so I'd have the link. Which shows how to do this. So you might find that an easier option. And enter the capture. Right, one down. So this one, as you outdispose, keep signal. So I'm reading some WAV files using ASIO out and WaveMix Stream 32. Everything works great, but I noticed that sometimes when I close and start again my program, I have a loud signal playing in the output of my audio card. I have to restart the app and delete the signal and come back to normal. I'm thinking this is the ASIO out which stays open, and I'm getting a loud signal. This is unfortunately sometimes something you can run into with low latency audio, that somehow the driver gets stuck playing the same tiny buffer, you know, sometimes 10-20 milliseconds of audio over and over again. It sounds terrible, and I suspect that's what's happening here. What I don't know is what can be done to fix it and why this particular card is. So I'm not really going to be able to be very helpful here, apart from to say sometimes some audio card drivers seem to get stuck playing the same buffer over and over. That might be what's happening here, but it's very hard to suggest what could be done to work around this. Does it happen at higher latency settings? So, with me not having this particular sound card, I don't really stand a chance of reproducing this, so it'll be up to whoever submitted this, Rekurukuru, to do some troubleshooting themselves. And one of the first things to try is just putting less load on the CPU, so play less files and work at a higher latency. Does this problem still occur in that case? Right. Lots and lots of questions going on. Stack Overflow, NAudio, choppy audio playback over terminal server connection. I'm not surprised. That's the kind of thing that you usually get trying to play audio over some kind of network connection. I have .NET WinForms file. I'm using it in audio for playing and merging of files. On PCs it's fine, but I want to run the application remotely while logged in. The application works, but the audio is choppy and will just quit playing. If I try and play the same audio file with media player, it's not choppy. Okay, so it's probably not the network, but maybe it's just on the very edge of performance. Created a simple test app. Okay, and it's playing a WAV file, so it's a fairly decent test to do this. You could try upping the default buffer size to see if that helps, or you could try DirectSoundOut to see if that makes any difference. Is there anything going on? Anything going on in your application that might be causing .NET garbage collections to occur? So that's another possibility, that .NET garbage collections are kicking in and also causing playback to slow down. So let's say that it's not a great answer, but again, a lot of these audio questions, it's about troubleshooting really. There isn't a simple, easy answer to fix all audio problems. You have to know how to break problems down and eliminate possibilities. An audio library can't list Codex in combo box. I'm a beginner with programming, so bear with me. This is kind of your classic beginner programmer question, trying to do two things: list the codecs and put them into a combo box. So I imagine that they've probably copied, yeah, you see, they've copied a whole ton of code from the NAudio demo project directly, including some MEF stuff that I put in there. I really regret putting the MEF stuff in there because it just confuses any beginner programmers that come across my sample code. I might go back and refactor that out in the future. Basically, let's have a look and see if we can work out anything that's going wrong. From codec in Codex. Okay. And oh, there's an answer. Brilliant. And this person has given the perfect answer. They've realised that MEF is involved, and well done, Michael Edenfield. Thank you for answering that one for me and saving me. I should have looked down and seen if it was answered before wasting my time and yours thinking about that question. Right, let's check. This one has no answer. Okay, so Prepend WAV header in NAudio. I'm resampling MP4 into WAV using Media Foundation Reader and resampler DMO stream. Okay, so that's a good little audio signal chain. After resampling, I send the stream to, but it fails because it doesn't contain the WAV header. If I save, is there a way to prepend? Okay, so you can, let's just get the NAudio code up here and let's find wavefile writer even. You can create a wavefile writer that writes to a stream. So the answer here is you can use wavefile writer to write to a stream. So in this case, I'd write to a memory stream, and the wavefile writer must be disposed in order to properly finalize the wave headers, but then it could be, but then you'll have an in-memory representation of our WAV file. One caveat is that you might end up disposing the memory stream when you dispose the wavefile writer. This is a real pain when this happens. So I have a convenience class in NAudio. Let's see if we can find it. Ignore dispose stream. Yeah, it is in NAudio utils. In NAudio called ignore dispose stream, which you can wrap the memory stream in to stop it getting disposed before you use it. So hopefully that will give this person enough information to solve the rest of this themselves, and given the fairly sensible audio signal chain they've set up, hopefully that's good enough for them. Right, this is an interesting bug. DirectSoundOut devices count returns the wrong value, and this bug was reported a while ago. Someone saying it just returns the wrong value, and so I asked last month, how do you know what the correct value should be? Maybe that's how many devices DirectSound thinks there are. And then this person says, if I run this code, DirectSoundOut.devices.count 3 times, it gives different results. That's interesting. So I'm going to try this. I've not tried it yet. I'm going to see if this is indeed a weird bug. And I'm going to use LinkPad. Anyone who knows me will know I'm a big fan of LinkPad. I'm going to stick NAudio into the query, and what am I doing? I think that should be enough namespaces. And we'll have C# statements. So we're going to say DirectSoundOut .devices .count. And I'm going to do that 3 times, and in fact I'm going to say .dump, which is LinkPad's way of saying show me the result. So let's see, 3 times 66. Okay, I am not getting the same error. Let's have a look. So we'll say, sorry, I can't reproduce this. Have you tried it on different computers or with different sound cards installed? Okay, I don't really use DirectSoundOut much. I either use the Wave Out or I'm using ASIO or Zappy or something, but DirectSoundOut was contributed by someone else. It seems to work okay. Had the occasional bug fix in it, so I'm not really able to offer much more assistance than that. Right, partially convert continuous WAV file to MP3 without gaps. My program records a conversation and stores it as a WAV. I'm trying to convert part of this WAV file, periodic to MP3. I'm using NAudio. Okay, this question isn't really giving me enough information to know exactly what they're doing. Are they just doing one call to NAudio.lame? So I'm just going to say can't really understand. In fact, not clear. It's not clear. Exactly what you're doing. Can you show a code snippet of how you merge them together? Okay, one thing with MP3s is that you can't have sample accurate MP3 lengths. So if this person was making a bunch of separate MP3 files and then trying to play them back to back, then yeah, I would expect a small gap. But I'm not sure that's what they're doing, so I'll just ask. Let's look at the next one. This is the last one I'm going to do. I'm trying to keep these to about 20 minutes-ish, so I'll just end here. NAudio sine wave provider 32 gives clicks when changing amplitude. The relevant code. Okay. This is a little bit of a pain, this sort of issue. If you're changing a value, like the amplitude of a sine wave, while you're playing it, then you want to be changing it smoothly and not just in one hit, because there will be a discontinuity and that will cause a click. Okay, so the clicks are caused by a discontinuity in the amplitude. This is hard to fix in a class like this because ideally you would slowly ramp the volume from one value to, it's not discontinuity, it's in the amplitude, in the waveform, to the other. This can be done by modifying the code to have a target amplitude, and then if the current amplitude is not equal to the target amplitude, then you move towards it by a small delta amount calculated each time through the loop. So over a period of, say, 10 milliseconds, you move from the old to new amplitude. But you'd need to write this yourself, unfortunately. Okay, again, be nice to be able to write code snippets for everyone who asks a question like this, but sadly I simply don't have the time to do that, and so I will leave that as an exercise for other Stack Overflow answerers if they want to write that code. I have actually done some code samples elsewhere of Portamento. In fact, it might be good for me to link to that. Let's find NAudio Portamento. For a similar concept where the frequency is being changed gradually rather than the amplitude, take a look at my blog post on Portamento in NAudio. And what is it? L. Here we go. And that's our 20 minutes up. Thank you to the one person who... There's always one person watching, or 0. So I'm not entirely sure whether that means it's me watching and it sometimes forgets that I'm watching, or someone else is. But welcome if you were watching this. And I'll hopefully do another one of these in a few days. Do let me know in the comments, either on my blog or on YouTube, if you're finding these useful.